Hello, good evening. It's News 360 coming to you live from the News Hub here at Adesawe Kanda. I am Portia Gabor.
And I am Martin Aseidu Dartey. These are the headlines for the next 1 hour.
News 360 headlines is brought to you by
Flamingo Paint,
Pepsodent Charcoal and Pepsodent Herbal,
EcoBank.
Tonight, the Minister for Communication secures new payment deals for DSTV subscribers effective October 1, bringing to an end months of controversy.
And also coming up tonight, we find out the sentiment of market women on the Galamsey menace following reports of polluted food items.
And later in business, the Bank of Ghana taps non-interest banking amid affordable capital to ease the country's fiscal constraints.
On the international front, Russia warns the U.S. of escalation in the Ukraine war if it goes ahead to supply missiles to Ukraine.
We're live around the world on 3news.com. That's our website. We're also streaming on Facebook, so do let your comments come in, and on YouTube as well.
The news now in detail, and effective October 1, 2025, DSTV subscribers will be getting more value for the amount they pay for their packages. That's according to the Minister of Communications, Sam Nati George. At a press briefing earlier today, he announced a new pricing plan exclusive to Ghana. A report by Judith Brown.
The Minister for Communications, Sam Nati George, has announced a new pricing plan for DSTV subscribers, offering 35 to 50% more value for your money. Now, here's what will change starting October 1.
For those who are on the Paddy Bouquet subscription, you currently pay 59 Ghana cedis. When you pay 59 Ghana cedis, you get upgraded automatically to Access, which is valued at 99 Ghana cedis, and you get 35 more channels. Second bouquet, Access, currently going at 99 Ghana cedi. If you retain your Access bouquet at 99 Ghana cedi, MultiChoice will bump you up to the family bouquet, which is currently priced at 190 Ghana cedis. You get 19 more channels. If you're on the family package, which is currently valued at 190 Ghana cedis, DSTV will automatically bump you up to Compact, which ordinarily goes for 380 Ghana cedis. You get 22 more channels and actually get access to live football matches. Compact, currently going at 380 Ghana cedis, gets bumped up automatically to Compact Plus, which is priced at 570 Ghana cedis. You get 12 more channels in addition. Compact Plus, valued at 570 Ghana cedis. You pay that, you're automatically bumped up to Premium, which goes at the price of 865 cedis. For those who remain on their Premium bouquet, which is priced at 865 Ghana cedis, you will still get all the content on the Premium flagship, the flagship Premium bouquet, but you also get an automatic entry into the competition for the chance to win a fully paid trip to watch selected English Premiership games.
Well, in essence, for the same packages, you are getting more value for less. And this package will be reviewed every 3 months, according to the ministry, by the committee. While the ministry has also cautioned against cross-border piracy of DSTV decoders from Nigeria, which it says has resulted in tax revenue loss and damage to local content creation.
You can't expect your Ghanaian government to fix and use tax revenue for social infrastructure. Meanwhile, you're paying taxes to a foreign government. And if you look at the statistics that is available, for every one legitimate DSTV box in Ghana, we have so far deactivated 5 from Nigeria. That should give you concern as a citizen. If this doesn't worry you, then your citizenship should be revoked.
Judith Brown, TV3 News.
You are flouting the public financial management rules. That was the stern caution from the chairperson of the Public Accounts Committee, Abena Osei-Asare, to the management of the Kolebu Teaching Hospital after startling revelations that the committee's sitting exposed questionable salary payments, judgment debts and procurement breaches. There is more in this report.
It was a filled day at the Public Accounts Committee sitting, marked by exchanges between the auditors, various state agencies and the committee, mostly over evidence submission. While some institutions insisted they had provided required documents, the Auditor General maintained otherwise, creating a tug-of-war of claims and counterclaims.
Please, we have.
No, you are just giving the paper to him.
No, we didn't give it to him now.
Auditors, can you confirm when exactly you received this evidence?
No, it was just passed on to me.
You have lied on 2 different issues.
Please, I have not lied. I did not lie.
Do we have Chief Executive here?
I did not lie, please.
The committee interrogated several infractions captured in the Auditor General's report, ranging from unearned salaries to procurement breaches and delays in correcting previous violations. When the management of Kolebu Teaching Hospital took their turn, proceedings became particularly thought-provoking. The revelations began with a controversial payment of 13 months' salary within a single year.
The auditors are very clear. They are saying that you are paying a 13-month salary and you have paid to the tune of 14.8 million Ghana cedis. What they are asking you to do the right thing. Is that process too difficult for Kolebu Teaching Hospital to do?
Going forward, Honorable Chair, we'll take that.
You are not doing anybody a favor by saying going forward. That is what the law mandates you to do.
Attention then shifted to judgment debt arising from medical negligence, one involving an overdose of medication and another tied to a mortuary mix-up that led to the wrongful release of remains, subsequent exhumation and reburial.
You are supposed to recover the money. Have you done that?
That was the external COVID team who swapped the bodies. So we.
CEO, the answer we want is yes, we have. No, we haven't.
No. Yeah. Actually, we are sorry for exactly what happened, but we haven't still recovered.
The responses from hospital management drew sharp reactions from the chairperson of the Public Accounts Committee, Abena Osei-Asare, who cautioned the facility against flouting public financial management rules.
Respectfully, you are flouting the PFM rules. Respectfully, you are flouting the rules. Let's all do the right thing. You doctors, your mandate is clearly spelled out for you. But where you have a lot of infractions like this, it doesn't speak well of all of us, especially our doctors who are managing some of these things. Respectfully, that is not how we run public finances. Ministry of Health, you have to take a closer look at this and make sure the right thing is done. Already you have a lot on your plate.
In more news tonight, the health of more than 34 million Ghanaians is at risk following the infiltration of toxins in foodstuff as a result of illegal mining. Already, referral hospitals, including the Kolebu Teaching Hospital, are recording high numbers of deformity in children, liver, kidney and cancer-related cases. George Queenan and Daryl Agbuzu visited some markets and reports.
The Galamsey menace has moved beyond water bodies and forest zones and now closer than ever, according to recent surveys. The heavy metals can now be found in the food you eat. A comprehensive year-long investigation by Pure Earth and the Environmental Protection Agency (EPA) has documented dangerous levels of toxins infiltrating food crops across 6 mining regions in Ghana. Ghana's food security is at risk, likely to increase Ghana's annual import expenditure, which is pegged at $3.5 billion as of 2023.
With high concerns of Galamsey activities impacting negatively on the health of farm produce, it has become imperative for consumers like you and myself to be extremely meticulous when buying foodstuff from the markets.
Although most traders are aware of the source of their produce, they still sell regardless of the risk. The menace, if not addressed, could push the country to import even water someday, they lamented.
Your products are do Ghana hano. I say first in tosi bua, what to me ton tosi so. Emma 1 week, 2 weeks. But then tosi so 1 week. I do bet you not say.
All farm produce have been destroyed, affecting their lifespan.
Fresh, and then they had to buy until fresh. After 3 days, a poto. I can't almost into one baby no more. Yes, and toast in Inra.
Our tomatoes used to last long, but now the situation is different.
First in toast, where are Angogan toast? It's missing what 2 weeks, and yes, but they sent toast sooner the buyer and I started 13 so.
The longevity of our products have been impacted, and it has greatly affected us.
Consumers, however, say they cannot be careful enough.
They're scared there, we are scared, but we can't do anything about it because you really need your tomatoes, your onions to prepare. But so we hope sometime when you cook, I learned there's a saying that African gems don't kill, like an old saying. And then when you cook, it kills some of the gems.
You don't have anything to check about the food because you are not a doctor. You can't detect anything. You don't have anything to detect whether the food has maybe there's chemicals inside. For you to identify like this food I'm going to eat is going to cause me or it's going to give me a cancer. Our leaders are supposed to do something about it. This thing they are doing it is in politics. They should put the politics aside and should face the facts.
Although there's an assurance from the Minister of Food and Agriculture, Eric Opoku, he was quick to explain that calls for the declaration of a state of emergency is not the ultimate solution.
As for the illegal mining, it is not a matter of being a challenge to me as a minister or to me as a citizen of this country. It is a challenge to all of us as citizens of our country because we are polluting the environment. We are destroying the land. We are destroying our water bodies. So what future are we bequeathing to the upcoming generation?
This development puts Ghana on a possible blacklist on the export market.
You think the Europeans, they are not monitoring? Do you know what is going to happen to us? The European can turn out one day and say, look, we will not take any food stuff coming from Ghana because the mercury level is high. Because of someone's negligence, it has affected all of us. And I think that we need to take the issues very serious. Because we need to do export more and to bring proceeds back.
The news team took a dietitian to the market to assess the health levels of some foodstuff. On the spot, there are some signs consumers can follow on in making their purchasing decisions.
I just gone through them. I'm not seeing anything like maybe chemicalization or let me say pollution around them. It is very clean. Nonetheless, when you come into the market to buy, as a buyer who adores contumely or pumpkin leaves, what you need to do is to look out for what looks very clean, that does not contain any brownish color on it, or that will not possibly be contaminated by these chemicals that we are talking about, the cadmium, the lead, the arsenic, and all of that, the mercury.
Clearly, the clock is ticking for a holistic solution to end the menace now. George Queenan, TV3 News, Accra.
The Driver and Vehicle Licensing Authority, that's the DVLA, says no excavator will be registered and released without ministerial approval. Speaking during the visit of the Deputy Minister of Transport, the DVLA CEO noted that this move is part of efforts to curb illegal mining, known popularly as Galamsey, and also to improve vehicle tracking.
Galamsey continues to pose serious environmental and health risks, polluting water bodies and soil across affected communities. DVLA CEO Julius Nikwe Kote reaffirmed the authorities' commitment to fighting Galamsey during a visit by the Deputy Minister of Transport.
We have also done a lot when it comes to the fight against Galamsey. The Minister of Transport will have to give us people who have seek permits from him before we go ahead with the registration. As far as the minister gives us the permit, we will register your excavator. Then the Lands Commission does the tracking. Until that, we cannot register any excavator. And per our DVLA terms, we consider them as seized.
At the National Road Safety Authority, Acting Director General Abraham Amalibat highlighted funding constraints, limited logistics hindering operational activities.
Our work is such that you can only function if you are given resources. So you cannot go empty-handed to stations to start educating drivers. We don't even have motorable vehicles. We don't have vehicles that are serviceable to embark on those agenda. We are shortchanged, particularly for this year.
Meanwhile, Acting CEO of the Ghana Railway Development Authority, Dr. Frederick Apo, announced that the Tema-Mpakadan railway line will begin revenue operations on Wednesday, October 1st, following maintenance completion.
We managed to work with our contractor to resolve most of the defects, and we identify a lot of infractions on the line, including encroachment. Everything has been resolved. Test run was successful, and we are going to start the first proof of revenue service on 1st October.
The Deputy Minister, Dorcas Afotofe, commended the efforts of the various authorities and pledged government support to help realize their goals.
I promise that I'll be there, I'll support in my own little way, together with my boss, to make sure that the vision for His Excellency the President for this authority will actually come to realization.
And away from illegal mining, the Sekondi Takoradi Metropolitan Assembly's Takoradi Sub-Metro is struggling to decongest its central business district with a temporary market at the park ground runabout abandoned. The authorities have now vowed to turn to the courts to find a solution, as Irama Smith reports.
An abandoned market and a plea by traders for the city authorities to come to their aid, as loans have to be repaid, families have to be fed, school fees have to be paid, among other demands. This is the plight of traders here at the temporary market near the Power Grant roundabout here in Takoradi. This market was established to accommodate traders who are currently at Takoradi's Jubilee ground, and also those who are trading at the Central Business District on pavement at the Central Business District of Takoradi, creating congestions. Initially, there was a pledge by the city authorities to market this place to ensure that it becomes vibrant and attractive to those who find themselves elsewhere. But a few months down the line, this is the plight. Many have returned to where they were initially trading, and a few left seem to have been abandoned. Now, people are trading in the corners at the Central Business District. To trade there even on Sundays, you need to see the authorities, else your goods will be seized.
Sunday now, be store now for one officer, you do name Abeko. Sister, I bread. The Yamidin Musrawanati, Munia, yes, can you not say? Yes, can you not show?
I am pleading with you to help us. My capital is depleted. They should have mercy on us. This week, I have to repay a loan of 1,600 cedis at the bank. Where will I get that from? They should have mercy on us.
But just 16 million. A week could be a lot. 1,600 million put the wall.
A cursory drive through the Central Business District of Takrade will reveal that the traders have returned, congestion has returned. The question is, what is the city authority doing about this?
Because we have a history that during some of these chasing, somebody's child fell from the back and the child died. Because of that history, we find it very difficult to continue to chase them here and there. We don't want the same misfortune to occur. So what we have also resorted to do is that let's try and encourage this on-street open market trading over there.
Now, the city authorities want to take it a step further because they say the spot fines are not working.
We are tired of the spot fine, and they themselves, they are even fed up with that one. If we should send them to court, I think that is the best way.
39.
The spot fine is 300. And if anybody is arrested and prosecuted, the person pays over about 2,000, the least. So they are not even afraid of the spot fine.
Now, do they have the political will to make this happen? Or will the Pagans market be like the Pamdo market? Well, time will tell whether the Central Business District can be successfully decongested. Erama Smith, TV3 News, Takrade.
And from the Western region, let's go to the Ashanti region, where the Ghana Education Service has removed the assistant headmaster in charge of academic at the KNUST Senior High School in Kumasi from office following the viral video on social media allegedly showing him in a compromising position with a female student. A statement signed by the head of public relations of the Ghana Education Service, Daniel Feni, said that the assistant headmaster, Charles Aidu, has been barred from visiting the school while investigations continue. The Ghana Education Service further noted that it is committed to protecting the welfare of students and maintaining discipline within the teaching profession. The statement added that due process would be followed and any disciplinary action would be taken in accordance with the service's code of conduct.
Now to some political news, and we're still more than 3 years away from Ghana's next general election, but early signals are already beginning to shape the political landscape. A new survey by Global Info Analytics has sparked fresh debate as it highlights which flag-bearer aspirants are likely to lead the polls in the 2028 general election. Judith Brown reports.
Chief of Staff Julius Deborah is the only potential NDC flag bearer who trails when marched up against both leading MPP aspirants, Kennedy Japan and former Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. The results suggest that unlike other top NDC figures, Julius Deborah is less favored by voters when paired with either of the MPP frontrunners. So what exactly does the data tell us? Now, taking a closer look at the numbers, you realize that when paired against Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, the poll shows Johnson Aseidu Dartey leading with 50% over Dr. Bawumia's 45%, Dr. Kasiela forcing even stronger with 53% to Dr. Bawumia's 44%, and Haruna Idrisu polling ahead at 55% compared to 42% for Dr. Bawumia. But in a matchup between Julius Deborah and Dr. Bawumia, the tide shifts. Bawumia leads with 50% to Julius Deborah's 46%. And when the same candidates are pitted against Kennedy Japan, Aseidu Dartey wins with 51% against Kennedy Japan's 44%, Atuforsen sees another commanding lead with 54% to 42%, and Haruna Idrissa remains dominant with 55%, while Kennedy lags behind at 41%. But again, Julius Deborah falls behind, polling 46% to Kennedy's 49%. Now, while these are early indicators, they do raise critical questions for the NDC as it considers its leadership path heading into 2028. With public preference leaning towards other potential candidates, the party may have to reflect carefully on its strategy, especially if electability is a deciding factor. Well, for now, the race is wide open. Both the NDC and MPP are yet to officially select their flag bearers for the 2028 election, and whether these early poll numbers will influence or reflect their eventual choices remains to be seen. Judith Brown, TV3 News.
Still watching News 360 on TV3. We have business, sports, entertainment all coming up. Do stay with us.
Hello there, good evening and welcome to the business segment here on News 360. I am Michael Obodu. Now, the Chief Executive of the Ghana National Petroleum Corporation, GNPC, says Ghana must scale up investment in the upstream petroleum sector to attract the capital needed for growth. The GNPC boss, Kwame Nto Amwa, emphasized the need for Ghana to invest in acquiring critical geological data to strengthen its position and unlock the full potential of its oil fields.
We've been focusing a bit too much on the fiscal elements, but the work that the country itself has to do to ensure that the geology is known. If we don't have it, we know it. If we have it, we know it. And to what extent? So I believe that the country itself has to make some investments itself to make oil and gas province attractive. And it goes even more beyond just those little investments. We need to be bold enough to acquire significant data. So we need to make those investments. The investments that we're making in infrastructure development is essential to getting investors here. They find a lot of gas in the middle of nowhere. There's no infrastructure. Then we're not attractive.
Knowledge has no gender and confidence knows no limits. This was the powerful message echoed at the launch of the Vivo Energy's She'll Fix initiative, a groundbreaking program designed to empower women with technical skills traditionally dominated by men.
In a bold move to challenge stereotypes and promote inclusivity, Vivo Energy Ghana has unveiled She Will Fix, a flagship initiative that trains women in automobile repair and maintenance. Participants of the initiative received hands-on training from industry professionals, mentorship, and access to job opportunities in the automotive sector. The aim is to create a pipeline of confident female technicians who will break barriers and inspire future generations. Managing Director of Vivo Energy, Christian Lee, shared how this is part of their social responsibility.
It's very aligned to our values, in which we have safety, respect and care. I think whatever we do, we try also to observe our customers. And we've got lots of feedback that, the ladies mostly, I'm not saying men also included, but mostly the ladies, they don't have confidence or they don't have the skills. And we believe that it's mostly because they don't have the know-how and the knowledge. And this is a bit the program, because we care for them, we respect them, and we want them to feel safe at all times, right? And also not to be stranded.
Corporate Communications Manager Shirley Tony Kim highlighted the reasons behind the initiative.
This program is actually part of our broader She Power initiative aimed at promoting female diversity and inclusion. So we launched that last year, and this year we came up with a She Will Fix. She Will Fix, it's basically, like I said, to equip female drivers with the basis of car maintenance. And we're going to scale it in the various regions across the country. So we're going to Kumasi, we'll be doing same in Takoradi and in the northern region, where we see most of our female drivers in the automobile industry.
President of the Institute of Public Relations, Esther Koba, encouraged the women to be intentional about it.
As women, we must be determined to encourage each other, to improve our capabilities, and not to be shy to aspire to leadership positions, since we are also capable, but are often excluded from such positions by sheer prejudice, or perhaps because we are unduly modest.
With the launch of She Will Fix, Vivo Energy has set the wheels in motion for a more inclusive future, one where skills, not stereotypes, define opportunity.
The Bank of Ghana is championing non-interest banking as a crucial strategy to generate the necessary fiscal space for the country's economic expansion. The central bank's governor, in a speech read on his behalf at the Islamic Finance International Conference in Accra, indicated that the search for affordable capital is paramount given Ghana's current fiscal constraints.
highlights that adopting new interest banking principles could open up new ethical aligned funding avenues for Ghana. This is especially relevant as the global Islamic finance industry had $3.88 trillion in assets in 2024 and is projected to reach approximately $5.9 trillion in assets by 2026. This represents a massive pool of capital that Ghana aims to tap into. An advisor to the Bank of Ghana, Franklin Belnye, represented the governor at Islamic Finance International Conference in Accra.
Ghana's economy, like many across Africa, stands at a critical juncture. On one hand, we face fiscal constraints, high public debt levels, and limited access to affordable capital for businesses. An expanding private sector and a growing demand for financial solutions that are both inclusive and ethical. Globally, non-interest banking and finance, often referred to as Islamic finance, has proven to be a powerful enabler of growth.
Director General of the Islamic Finance Research Institute of Ghana, a non-profit organization, Dr. Ali Shaibu, has underscored the fundamental principles of non-interest banking, emphasizing its nature as a system built on participation and profit sharing.
The conventional system, they charge interest as a form of income to the bank. But the alternative system rather goes into partnership. Beauty of the non-interest banking system is participatory. It's not like the bank gives you the money and they go and sleep. Whether you make profit or loss, they have to come for their money. With this one, once you make profit, we are sharing. So it's based on what we call the profit and loss sharing ratio. So once we make profit, we share. We make loss, we share.
And that'll be all for the business segment here on News 360. I am Michael Lubudu. Thank you for watching. We'll bring you updates now from the currency and the commodities market.
Still, Misaka, and Namu was a summer brabo, and it can afford swab
Misaka pensions, Carol.
Misaka or the Sika.
Misaka
insurance.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to the sports segment here on News 360 with me, Oreku Ampofo. Early on Monday, the Ministry of Sports and Recreation, together with the National Sports Authority, inaugurated an 11-member interim management committee and coordinating team to oversee the affairs of boxing following the death of Ernest Akushe, popularly known as Baul Bali. Now, Billy Shen, my colleague, has more in the following report.
Members of the 11-member Interim Management Committee and Coordinating Team were inaugurated, swearing the oath of office and secrecy with the task of reforming boxing within a period of 3 months with the option of extending by not more than 30 days. During the period, they hold the power to sanction bouts and make key decisions regarding the sport in its normalization process. Celebrated promoter Samir Kaptan was appointed chairman, and two-time world boxing champion Azuma Nelson will serve as vice chairman. Others include veteran trainer Dr. Ofori Asare, Dr. Eric Tete Ayete, and Nathaniel Atto.
Let us all help to project Ghana as the minister wanted us to do. So I thank you, Minister. I thank you all, ladies and gentlemen who are here. Let's put heads together, and by the grace of God, we will succeed. In unity we stand, divided we fall. My words are our action. Our words are our action. That's all what I have to say. Thank you.
Minister for Sports and Recreation, Kofi Adams, believes the committee would deliver the expected results.
But we can do it and make it work. And I know you are capable of doing so. I know you listen and you would embrace all, but you take decisive decisions for the well-being of the sport. That is why we have constituted you. The ministry is ready to support NSA in their support of you.
The Interim Management Committee now has the responsibility of restoring confidence and setting a clear roadmap for the growth of Ghana boxing. Their work over the next few months will determine the future direction of the sport and its ability to produce the next generation of champions.
Well, we still stay with the Sports and Recreation Ministry because they have approved a budget of $1.12 million to support the Black Stars in match days 9 and 10 of the upcoming 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers. Sports Minister Kofi Adams praised the Ghana Football Association's efforts in slashing down the figures compared to the last international break.
Thank the FA for reaching that consensus with us and presenting estimates that falls within the range of agreement that we had in our February 2025 meeting. So meaning that understanding is there. For those who misspoke when we did what we did, the FA itself have responded very positively to the implementation of the president's directives. And the estimates they submitted, truly speaking, no matter how sharp your knife is, it's difficult to find any meat to cut. They have submitted an estimate that is within acceptable range. And the ministry had no cause to add any comment whatsoever to what was presented, but to just sign a covering letter and to forward these to the office of the president for consideration.
Well, let's do some more here on the sports segment on News 360, where match day 3 action of the Ghana Premier League brought drama, thrills and upsets. Heart of Lions remain the only side with a 100% record as Dreams continue to struggle. My colleague Barack Minta Brown reviews the action from the weekend.
It was another exciting weekend in the Ghana Premier League as match day 3 served up drama across the country. The action, which kicked off on Friday night, where Accra Folk recorded their second win of the season. A scrappy strike from Enoch Subontin was just enough to see the Phobians edge 11 Wonders by a goal to nil. On Saturday, Adriana Stars also proved their resilience in Doma, despite going behind to a quick Swansea Bafo opener for All Blacks. The Oja boys rallied to come back thanks to a 2-goal brace from Yimano for his brilliant brace secured a 2-1 comeback victory, and that was all it needed for the Oja boys to record their home win once again. However, Sunday's fixtures also brought enough talking points, where Nations FC at home were held to a 0-0 goalless draw against Samates FC. Heart of Lions also picked up a narrow 1-0 win over Bechem United at the Pando Sports Stadium. Vision FC also bounced back after a disappointing match week 2 result against Mediama to beat Hoko United by 2-0 at the Ni Ajay Kraku Park. In Wenchi, Young Apostles were leading Dreams by a 1-0 before heavy rains forced the game to be called off. At the Aliu Mahama Stadium in Tamale, Kerala United stand Mediama SC with a hard-fought 1-0 victory. It was a weekend of tight margins, big comebacks, and surprise result. The GPO is already living up to expectations and just what the Ghanaians want. For 3 Sports, Barack Minter Brown.
Well, before we go, big story coming in from the World Cup qualifiers, and South Africa have been docked 3 points by FIFA after fielding an ineligible player, that's their captain Mokoena, after he was supposed to serve a suspension in their game against Lesotho. And so they come into second place with 14 points, right behind Benin on goal difference. Only the team that tops the group automatically qualifies. You can get more stories on our social media handles at 3SportsGH. My name is Oreku Ampofo.
Seeds, Heaven Black Insecticide Spray and Coil, powered by 3 Entertainment.
Good evening and welcome to the entertainment news segment here on News 360. My name is Noella Donko. Now, 10 weeks into the competition, the GMB contestants took on the challenge of promoting Africa by representing various African countries and educating the audience on their unique cultures and traditions. Etonam, representing the Volta region, was crowned the star performer on the One Africa Night.
Welcome to South Africa. When I say Sunny Bonuna, you respond, Yebo, Sunny Bonuna.
Tasked with projecting African culture through the lenses of selected countries, contestants took to the stage to celebrate the rich and diverse heritage of the continent. From music and dance to fashion and storytelling, the night unfolded as a vibrant display of unity, pride and cultural brilliance. Yeli embodied the spirit of Senegal's women of Ndere, delivering a powerful and emotional performance that shed light on the painful reality of female genital mutilation.
We, the women of Ndere, today we refuse to be mutilated and enslaved. On the 7th of November, 1820. When colonial chains bounded Africa, I stood tall and said, Africa shall rise. South Africa, when discrimination bruised you, I carried your tears and I said to you, hold on, for freedom is coming. Freedom is coming tomorrow.
In all, the night was a bold celebration of Africa's diverse cultures. Etonam from the Volta region topped the night, earning her second Star Performer Award in the competition, a testament to her consistency and excellence. But as the night ended, it was time to bid farewell to 2 contestants. Diwa and Busi exited the competition, closing the chapter on a night filled with emotion, creativity, and cultural pride.
Diwa, this is where the journey ends. It's been such a good run. You should be absolutely proud of yourself for making it this far.
Well, I hope you keep voting for your favorites and make sure that they are part of the finalists. And so that's it for the entertainment news segment here on News 360. My name is Noella Donko.
Thank you so much, Noella. Coming up, international news.
A special court in South Sudan has ruled that it does not have the jurisdiction to prosecute suspended Vice President Riek Machar and 7 co-accused who are charged with murder, treason and crimes against humanity. The court dismissed all objections by Machar's legal team regarding its authority, the constitutionality of the proceedings, and the claim that he was immune from prosecution. The case will continue on Wednesday. Machar has dismissed the charges brought against him 2 weeks ago as a political witch hunt. They have raised fears of return to civil war. The charges stem from an attack in March by a militia allegedly linked to Machar, who killed 250 soldiers and a general. Russian officials say should the U.S. supply Tomahawk cruise missiles to Ukraine for strikes deep into Russia, that could trigger a steep escalation. U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance said on Sunday that Washington was considering a Ukrainian request to obtain Tomahawks. Tomahawks have a range of 2,500 kilometers, easily far enough to hit Moscow. President Donald Trump has not made a final decision, and he has been wary of escalating the Ukraine war into a direct confrontation. But the fact he is now weighing such a move shows the extent of his frustration with President Vladimir Putin's refusal to agree to a ceasefire since he hosted the Russian leader at a summit in Alaska last month.
That's it for our bulletin this evening. Thank you so much for watching. I am Martin Aseidu Dartey.
And I am Portia Gabor. Do join Alfredo Cancer at 10 p.m. for Ghana Tonight. Good evening.